It's all good. So, Kerry, I was going to ask you. We were talking about when you bounced off. Jimmy and I were talking about how impressive you are. Just forget about wrestling. For older statesmen like Jimmy and myself, it's good to see such intelligent young
Elder,
people
not older.
growing. Elder, okay, thank you. Growing. I have faith now in
We're older
country,
statesmen.
this country a little bit, right? So, but I'm going to ask you, where do you think the Rock and Roll Express rank as greatest tag teams?
It's funny, and are you a little bias, give or take, because it is my father and Ricky, and from the opinions of others. Um, but I would certainly say in the top five of all tag teams of all time. Um, and I'm in because they were innovators. They were someone that was so different, but a good different. And I say that as I go back and I watch the history and the wrestling and popping the territories and the attendance records that they broke and that are still unbeatable to this day in professional wrestling, aside from WrestleMania or WWE. But no other show, from that platform can do that. So it's something I would say certainly top five list up there.
Mike, without them, there is no Hardy Boys, there is no Edge and Christian, and there's no Young Bucks today. They're the blueprint.
Well, I appreciate it, really. Hell of a comment there to them. I know they'd appreciate that too.
That is a hell of a comment. Did you did you grow up around Robert Gibson at all, Kerry?
I did, yeah. Uncle Hoots. I just spoke to him on the phone call coming here to where I'm at here in Knoxville, Tennessee tonight. So yeah, I speak to Robert all the time. It's someone that helps me a lot in my career. We just tagged him this past weekend in Dayton, Ohio. It was Ricky, Robert, and myself versus a young tag team in the Ohio, Pennsylvania area region. And it was great. We had a fun time. We enjoyed. We laughed. Rhino was there. Heath Slater, Shane Douglas, Sandman. Just a hell of a time. Fun. We all laughed, enjoyed ourselves, had good company this past weekend. So, yeah, Uncle Hoot.
Well, more importantly, is it true that Robert Gibson's well endowed as he's claimed to be?
Listen, I could think
I thought he was calling him Uncle Huge.
Wait, he's got to answer the question,
ahead,
Jimmy. I got to hear this.
I digress.
Listen, when you can wrap it around your wrist twice, I mean, that's it. That's all I got to say.
That's all you got to say. Not bad.
That's a hell of locker room talent. Hey, kid. Well, not kid. Don't take that figuratively, not literally. Hey, kid. Look over here. What time is it? It's wrapped around his wrist twice. That's something.
You're like, whoa, it's not too bad. Not bad.
What the hell? At 60, whatever he is, 67, 66 years old, that old ass, old dinosaur.
Poor Kerry. He thought this was just going to be a straight up like pro wrestling, one of those pro wrestling interviews. Meanwhile, he's talking about Gibson's penis. So
my uncle requires 2 lockers. Sorry.
Kerry, talk to me about some of the talent in the NWA that you're impressed with. We got Baby Doll's daughter over there now. She's fantastic, right? You got Tiffany Nieves. Am I saying it? Nieves, correct?
Yeah.
Unbelievable talent. We had her on the show. My God, what kind of mic work does that girl have? Unreal, right?
Great talent. That's someone I would put over on the top of my list. Probably first and foremost is Tiffany Nieves. Great, wonderful talent. She has earned her stripes very quickly in the National Wrestling Alliance. She's always hungry and wanting more knowledge. I see her picking the brains of everybody. Mind me, I'm in the locker room always picking the boys' thoughts and minds, and I'm kind of the laugh and smile of the locker room, I'd like to think to myself. But I look over and she's always just, soaking up knowledge. So great talent there. There's some good up-and-coming young talent that we have that is really starting to catch their waves. The Slime Balls is someone I will go out of my way to put over right now. Tommy and Sage out of New York, but just and I say this with respect for them, is they've got something, and they know that they got something. They're aware of that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean that's the names that come to me. I can speak on my crew: Silas Mason, Alex Taylor, the Southern Six, along with myself. I'd put us obviously at number one because we are who we are. But homegrown NWA talent. We bust our asses. We make it a point to have the best matches of the night. We have good locker room leaders with Tom Latimer and EC3, and so we have some really good cats in the NWA, and it's been a joy to be there.
So let me ask you this: is it hard to stay away from romantic relationships within the world of professional wrestling, considering you're around each other quite often?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I don't even know if I could answer that properly. I dated in professional wrestling before with a female companion. That was great. And also another wrestler, and she was awesome. And, it's tough because you're on the road so much and you're relatable to one another because they know what it takes to do what you got to do. The road trips, sleeping in nasty ass hotel rooms and shower when you can, go to the lift, trying to eat properly, put on a smile, make sure you're doing the whole nine. I can go on and on, but where I'm getting at is yeah, you're seeing it more commonly now. I see a lot of the guys and the girls are mending with each other. Coming from a collegiate background in cheerleading, national champion, by the way, all American, but who's saying whatever? Who cares? Anyhow,
Yeah, right.
whatever. Who cares? All American.
Whatever.
I have a ring. I have a ring in my house.
Business degree, all American, top
All
pro
American
wrestler. What the
American.
hell? Gets every woman in the world. Forget it. Don't worry about it.
But I always made it the point, and this is something I said. I always made it the point that this is business. This is my job. So I do not date in my job. Well, I'm speaking for my cheerleaders. In the same way, I kind of look in wrestling. The girls are very beautiful, yeah, and they're my friends for the most part, and that's kind of where I stand at it. That's my business partner, and that's not my companion or someone that I want to have, a relationship with outside of what we already have itself. And that's kind of where I have to stand my ground on that. And I try to tell some of the other boys, and it goes out in one ear and out the other, and some of them it sticks with.
Another tough question for you, man.
Translation.
Go ahead, Jim.
Translation: don't shit where you eat. Go ahead.
That's it. Don't shit where you eat. Yeah.
Look at that. Vince McMahon, should he be washed away from professional wrestling considering the allegation against him? And we're Vince McMahon guys here. Everybody knows that who watches the show, right? And, we're believers in you're guilty until proven, innocent until proven guilty. Oh my God, I can't believe I reversed that. So anyway, your thoughts on that, Kerry?
I don't think he should be erased from professional wrestling. The allegations are out there. Everyone has already formed their opinion. They're going to state their opinion, and they're going to live by that opinion vicariously through a keyboard online. So you're always going to see that. You're going to read it. You're going to see what's happening. I'm aware of what has happened. It's something I don't condemn. I don't necessarily care for, but you can't erase what he has built and the legacy of professional wrestling. Building up a company and selling it for $9.9 billion is that's in like the epitome of the word incredible. Like it's awesome. It's cool to see someone of that caliber do something like that. So you can't erase him from history. It's Vince McMahon. He has made many of stars and have made every talent that is with the WWE rich. And so that's if these boys that worked for WWE prior and worked for 10 or 12 or 15 plus years want to speak ill on a man that made them rich and provided them homes and lots of money that guys like I would kill to have, then that's on them. But at the end of the day, look who made you rich, look who made you all this money, and look who got you the fame to where you're at right now.
And he always delivered his dolls on time. When you ordered them, they always came in on time.
You're darn right about that.
There was no 500 tariff on the There was no $500,000 tariff on the WWE. So
no $500,000 tariff. No.
So Jimmy and I were speaking about this. Being, again, it's great. You got this popular life, good-looking guy. Here's a couple of questions, though. How do you feel about the fans infringing on your personal time? You read a lot of the dirt sheets where wrestlers are coming out saying, "Hey, our time is our time." What are your thoughts about that whole scenario, like a Rhea Ripley or whoever.
It's tough because we're all so alike yet different, with how interactions happen in the crowd. It's cool. I was in the airport the other day and it makes me think I'm doing something right when I'm not recognized once, but I'm recognized multiple times. At the gate, someone asked me to come sign something for him. Like, I had 8x10s in my bag, and I just pulled an 8x10 out and just signed it for him there. I wasn't gonna sign a napkin. Like, I look at it differently because without these people, I wouldn't be who I am. Maybe I might think differently in the years upcoming, but right now, like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that this little boy or little girl that wants to take a photo of me, or this grown man that that's wearing a wrestling T-shirt recognized me and wants to take a photo, or wants me to give him a shout out on a video, or tell him that he sucks ass or whatever I decided to say. However, whatever Kerry he wants. If he wants the bad Kerry, if he wants the mediocre Kerry, the good Kerry. It's one of the it's neat. So yeah, everyone has their different opinions on it. For me, the only thing I ask you not to do is, and which has happened more than once, is come to my house, or come to my family's house. That's something that's a no-go. That's our personal spot. But aside from that, if I'm eating dinner, if I'm done with my dinner, yeah, come up and say hi to me. Like,
Well,
that doesn't
can
matter
I
to me.
ask
You know
you
what I mean?
about that? Can I ask you about that? Can you tell the story? Someone actually came to your house? Like,
Yeah,
what goes
yeah.
on there?
Yeah, there's someone came to my house. I was I was about to mow grass. It was early in the morning. A car pulls up, and not recognizing the car, I'm looking from the side of my gate, but they're like kind of eyeing up and seeing, like, they grab this packet from what I recall and come knock on my door, and sure enough, I go through the front door and answer it from the front door, and it's a wrestling fan. Like, hey man, I heard you up here. Can you sign all this stuff for me? And then I
Holy
was like,
shit.
no. Like immediately I was like, it turned into a real asshole. They probably don't want to see, but it was, yeah. I mean, that's happened. There's been many of fans, women, older women that showed up for my father. Lots of fan mail, which is cool. Fan mail's fine, but like, when you show up in person, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, wait, Jimmy, I got to tell you
Oh,
something. I don't know
gentlemen, I
if you
can't hear
heard
you.
him, but he was mowing his lawn, which I got to tell you something. That's been like a big pet peeve of me, because I always say on the show, I'll be like, "Do you think Greg Valentine ever mowed his lawn?" So finally, again, you have proven to me that the youth of this nation is strong.
Hello?
I'm loving it right now. So there we go. All right. Couple things I want to cover, Jimmy.
Yeah.
500 level has now improved on the M&P code. Now go to MP30 for 30% off. Jimmy, I got to tell you something, right? I was at the beach again, 500 level. If you guys haven't looked at the shirts, right, go to the website. It's incredible. And I got to be honest, right? So it was a little chilly today. I brought the dogs to the beach. I was off work for the Jewish
cold
holidays,
today.
right?
It's cold.
It was cold,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I have from 500 level, I have a Roman Reigns sweatshirt. Now, usually sweatshirts are not always the nicest fabric, unless I'm into really nice fabric because I just don't like things up against my skin. So
Yeah.
usually I'll get thinner type of shirts, but this is a heavy sweatshirt. The fabric, unbelievable. And you're going to get a deal at 30% off, Jimmy. I mean, my God, it's a no-brainer, guys. I am telling you, once you get one shirt from them, you'll get 50. I
they're so
guarantee it.
comfortable.
And they've got
so
all the sports.
comfortable.
Yeah, dude, tell me what you think of it, Jimmy.
They're so comfortable. I got to get a long sleeve now. I'm telling you, I got to, because it was chilly today, especially for a guy who's been in Panama City Beach the last 2 years. It was chilly today, and I love the material. It's so silky. Is that the right word for it? I don't know.
No, absolutely. Absolutely, dude.
It's so comfortable. So yeah, I got to get myself some leveled long sleeves. That's for sure. 30%
And again,
off.
it doesn't, they got plenty of wrestling stuff. They got baseball stuff. They've got football. They got everything, dude. MMA. They got it all, man. And I'm telling you, it's very high quality. Again, 500 level code MP30, 30% off. So if a
Nice.
T-shirt costs you $20,
That's
what's
huge.
30% off on $20, dude?
It's enough. 10 plus another 20% tacked on top. Not much. It's a steal. It's a steal.
I agree. I want to remind everybody too, the Monte and the Pharaoh show, hit the QR code, be willing to check out our shows on YouTube, where we got almost 24,000 subscribers. Go to our Facebook page where we're approaching 27,000 subscribers. And again, if you feel like donating to the show, please go to the Monte and the Pharaoh webpage, hit donate. Helps us bring in more guests. Trying to entertain Jim. We've got the big event coming up, so a lot of good stuff happening right now.